So we're looking at a nice handling facility here, Glen.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest, most significant investments. Finished, this shed is up a year and a half now. Straight after this house, we went straight to this. We had the men here, we had the equipment here, and we knew that this was no longer either safe or a one-man operation. Now you can work this yard as a single man. You could put every base through that crush very comfortably. So
yeah. So what are the main advantages before we walk through it in terms of maybe what you had before, which is possibly over here, was it?
Yep.
Versus the control you have now.
Okay, so the yard completely closes off with the top gates, this gate, and a middle gate across there.
Yeah.
With 2 entry points. So for this house, they'll come in this side. For the 2 beef houses, they'll come in the right-hand side. Completely safe with the circular forcing gate.
Yeah.
And then obviously the crush itself, you can get at every part of the animal safely without an issue.
Yes.
That would be the biggest one. A nice walkway, which you can see in a bit, along the top. So clipping all cattle here is clipped and dosed. Going into the shed, clip before they go out. You know, clipping's so handy there. You know, you're actually, the top of the animal is right at your belly button. There's no work to do. Like.
Yes.
And all the medications sort of nicely stored and easy to get at. And it's just it's a joy to work on it, to be honest.
Yeah. And is this what you had before? What you were kind of depending on?
Yeah, so if you can see where that was, it's a bit of a lighter render in the wall. There was a lean-to there that was full of straw. This wall extended out to, I suppose, where this grating is.
Yeah.
And the cattle came out here almost like an American bud box, if you like. But the actual getting them up the entrance to the crush, it was sometimes a handling.
Yeah.
And there was no exit at the top of the crush, so everything had to be reversed back out, and that was also a handling.
So the concrete is nicely finished as well in terms of grip?
Bit of grip on the concrete, not too much where it's still easily washed, you know. And then there's the square gripping in the crush itself.
Yeah. So when we walk there, say the movement there, and just see the gates in action.
Okay, so would typically have this yard would be closed up with these top gates. All gates there can be shut, you know, without having to go back. You'd open the entry gate, get the cattle in, always have the circular gate, you know, loaded, ready to go.
Yeah.
Are you coming in? And then there, usually the cattle go to this corner, walk around, and they will turn. And then they'll walk out. You've got an escape here. If you just work on one beast, you have a gate there. We can just walk them in, you know, instead of mucking about with a forcing gate. Also good if a base goes down, you know. And then you're safe in here.
Okay.
With your guillotine gate. Double squeeze. You can catch their head from front and back.
She's a serious gate.
Yeah, you can get in.
Crushing facility.
I mean, this year we got a heifer to adopt the calf very easily. She went in there, got a bit of meal, opened both sides. You could have got 2 calves on her very handy.
Yeah.
She's unload bars for your weighing. You can close these in or out. So bottom one in if you're AAing. Top one in if you're maybe working at the back end of the beast.
Yeah.
You have an anti-backing bar here too. You know, whatever size the animal is. Two holes either side for an intermuscular injection. And then you get your head scoop. And everything you've just seen on that side is the same on this side as well. So.
Okay.
And then you've got your ramp up for clipping and dosing and things like that.
So did you do much research before making an investment like that?
Looked at we had a few different suppliers out for the crush itself. With the galvanizing and having seen it in action, the Clip-X was really the only choice for me personally. But I mean, I suppose any of them would have been an upgrade. They would have been great, you know.
Yeah.
But I just found this one was well made, sturdy, and we were getting everything else from the same crowd anyway. So
Yeah. She lasts a lifetime by the look of it, like.
I think so. She's well made, you know, and
Yeah.
there is. You can see you could replace any part of it very handy if you had to. You know?
Yeah.
We did a section in here on the last animal, the calf, there in February. 3 o'clock in the morning, we walked the cow straight across there. The vet arrived and he was super happy with what he was about to work with. You know?
Yeah. Undercover lights and.
Undercover, yeah, and the whole. If I put all the lights on in this yard, I've upgraded everything to LED lighting, and it is like Blackpool in this whole yard now.
Yeah.
At night time, you know.
How often would you use the wave functionality on it?
Every time we're selling a base, it gets wet,
Okay.
minus the gut fill, and then that's it.
Okay. And are you using that for your own record or just to?
So that's for selling, and then I'm performance recording the calves as well.
Okay. How often are you putting them in there for that?
The second round of vaccines,
Yeah.
they go through there, and disc budding, they go through there.
Yeah.
And this the 2 times a weigh. So when they arrive, second round of vaccines, disc budding and weaning, and I've
Yeah.
got 4 weights there that
Okay.
I can work off performance.
And are you writing down the measurements or is it linked back to your phone or
It
anything?
goes to my phone. I'll just batch them through the Gallagher app,
Yeah.
and then print it off.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. Yeah.
and we weigh everything that goes to grass as well, and then we weigh everything that comes off the grass.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are performance recording to a certain degree. But the batches that go out the grass change, so at least we know every animal, what date it went out and what date it comes in. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
They all go out full and they all come in full. So
So I see you have a nice area here to the left then, your whiteboard. You're obviously into whiteboards.
yeah, I was saying I'm ex-military. I like to keep a list of something I need to get through, and
Yeah.
that's the next fortnight sort of what the plan. And next time I go to the vets, that's what I need to get, and I have my big board up at the top, which will come into play once we get the Paddock system in on the reseed.
Yeah.
And use obviously map the farm for that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. So again, that's kind of your dates and your.
That's the dates on what I need to achieve. There might only be, there's dates there's nothing on for, but there's dates like, there's implant days, obviously something I can't forget because he's going to arrive that day regardless.
Yeah.
Beforehand there's heat detection for Friday.
Yeah.
And before that there was cedars going in,
Yeah.
estimate dates and things like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Good. Just looking at the crush then, or this, you have it at an angle. Is that a help?
Yeah, well, the reason being is that the crush is double-sided.
Yeah. Just
If
more
I
room.
put that flat, we'd have been making this side redundant, you
Yeah,
know. We
yeah.
wanted to keep both sides that you could use the
Yes.
functionalities of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Not really any benefit. I suppose it does in a way steer them wanting to go this way rather than turning right. Now that gate will be closed; they can go nowhere anyway. I would open that gate to there, and this gate here would bring round to there. There is a gap, but to date, nothing's ever went for that gap. They want to go back where they came from, usually.
Yes. Yeah. And so your walkway here. It's quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely didn't want to be bending down to work at a bigger kettle. I can walk across there pouring on.
Yeah.
And I can walk up, clipping and walk back pouring on. And
Yeah.
seems to work. It is quite high, I suppose you're right.
Yeah. But I suppose that's why you're doing most of your functions then lower down then inside at the crush itself.
Yeah, and Robert and I, we're not tall men.
Yeah,
so
you're like myself.
Yeah, we kept it high.
Yeah.
But all the work on an animal is done down there in terms of, you can load that run up. I mean that'll take sort of 8 animals at a time, 10 animals maybe. The joys of the yard is that it's split down. There's that many holding pens. There's a big one on your right, big one on the left. You can have the next batch in here ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
There's constant at TB time. There's constantly cattle going through the system. There's one man loading the crush and one man helping the vet, and that's it. You know?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And the board in here. You're
Yeah.
a fan of that?
Oh, huge fan of the boarding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be without it. There's no feet gets stuck out or heads get stuck out. It keeps the animal's head up, I find, as well. I wouldn't have skimped on the stock boarding, definitely not. No.
Yeah. Steel work then in general. Who supplied that?
Everything that you see here was done by Timor.
Yeah.
Myself and the guy that came out, we designed it. Made tweaks here and there, just bounced off each other to come up with the design. We were a wee bit concerned that we were only going for half of a forcing circle. If it's a full forcing circle, an animal will not stop, whereas you could get channeled down in that corner, and we kind of rolled the dice on that one, but yeah, they load up very... Now, it is worth noting that every animal here is very quiet anyway, because it was reared. If I was running maybe continental stock or weanlings through there, might be a different story.
Yeah.
Maybe go for the full circle there, but we were limited in space. We didn't want to... We actually did this plus the shed, but made the yard bigger. It was very cramped before, so
Yeah.
we didn't want to go out too far. We didn't have the space for a full circle, you know.
Yeah. So looking over your shoulder here.
Yep.
We were here in early January
You were, yep.
to make a map of the farm.
That's right.
And I suppose a lot of it, the motivation behind it was maybe to divide up some of the fields as well.
Yeah.
To make paddocks and
Exactly
utilise your
that.
grass a bit better.
Exactly that. I mean, we're always looking at the future on what we can improve, and I know that you can increase your stocking rate and performance in cattle by rotationally grazing them. So what we have done at the stage where we got yourselves to map it and plan it for us, we have all this fenced already, and we have all the gates hung everywhere. The next stage is we didn't do anything because we'd just taken a cut of silage off that reseed.
Yeah.
So the next stage is now getting it into paddocks.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're here.
We're
somewhere in that.
we're up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
That's
the cattle come out here, and they would be in paddock 1, and it's just a case of keeping them moving through. Now, because we're not heavy with fertilizer, I don't think we'd be able to achieve 7 days off, or sorry, 3 days on, 3 weeks off rotational platform, because we're not pumping the grass full of nitrogen. So
Yeah.
we're running sort of an 11 paddock system with a big rest paddock here, a big 12 rest paddock.
Yeah.
Going on with seaweed, no granular slurry and seaweed, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So grazing then, what's your grazing? So when do you start grazing? Or I know you do some element of wintering as well, but typically when will animals get to grass?
As early as possible. The ground will take them. This
Yeah.
year was very wet now, and even at that, we had cattle out in the first week of March,
Yeah.
when there was people that didn't. You know, we're blessed with the ground being so dry, but typically April through to October, probably.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing really buzzing in October. What really dictates when we bring our cattle is our TB test. If our TB test is in October, that's when the cattle will come in and stay in.
Right.
You know, if it was in November, they'll probably stay out in November if the ground will take them, you know.
Okay.
We've no hard, fast rule, to be honest, with dates. I've seen cattle out as early as February. And as I told you, when we were building that shed, they stayed out to December. It wasn't an issue, you know.
Right. Okay.
We're not really at the stage now because we're not beefing and driving performance and things. We get that animal to 400 or 500 kilo comfortably, and as long as it takes, and those cattle are still being killed under 24 months, so it's obviously, it's working to a certain degree, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose maybe to finish in the map, I suppose to make this a reality, we'll provide you dimensions, say from that gap to find that fence post. And we'll also give you, we'll be able to create that line here, which is there, and give you a dimension from here to here.
Yes.
And I suppose
Oh, ideal,
it'll be like a jigsaw, I suppose, ultimately, and
run a line,
with dimensions and...
I mean, we're going to permanently fence this part
Yeah.
and this part, and then
Yeah.
it'll be a mains fencer across
Yeah.
here with bull
Long
wire.
wires. Yeah. That's fine.
And we've a lot of drinkers to put in too, and a lot of water work, and we
Yeah.
didn't really want to start doing all that, you know, when there's silage to come in off
Yeah.
the ground.
Okay.
Made things easier for the contractor. He just went out there and we got a really good crop of grass off of it. We went a bag and a half to the acre just with
Yeah.
it.